Hello everyone, AlzaboHD here with a brand new video for you here today. In this video, we'll be looking at Wargroove, a brand new turn-based strategy game produced and published by Chucklefish, the makers of Starbound and publishers of Stardew Valley. Wargroove is a blast from the past, inspired largely by Advance Wars, and is a spiritual successor to the genre of isometric tactical strategy. The game is available for PC, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. In this preview, we will take a look at the game, cover the concept and basics, and conclude with my opinions on this ambitious and highly anticipated title. First and foremost, Wargroove feels immediately familiar if you've played other tactical strategy games like Advance Wars. In the game, you control medieval and high fantasy armies that battle to the death in various offline and online scenarios. There is a campaign that allows you to unlock new characters and features, an arcade mode with scalable difficulty, and a multitude of scenarios and battle maps that you can play with yourself or with up to 3 other friends. Multiplayer is available online and offline, and even allows you to play on the same screen, which is awesome for the console versions of the game. You can create your own maps and campaigns with a handy in-game editor, which adds a lot of value and replayability to the game. You can also make your own cutscenes for your campaigns, which is awesome. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the actual gameplay. You can select between one of 12 commanders to lead your regiments. These commanders range from necromancers, plant creatures, warriors, and all the way to dogs. Yes, you can lead your armies as a dog commander. His name is Kaiser, and he's a very good boy. Each commander belongs to one of 4 playable factions that have their own flavor and visual aesthetic. The red faction features medieval European soldiers, the blue faction has undead skeletons, the green faction has swarms of plant creatures taken from Starbound, and the yellow faction is inspired from Asia. Speaking of commanders, they are the most important unit on the battlefield. If your commander dies, you lose, which means that you have to protect them. Fortunately, they are incredibly tough and very powerful fighters. Each comes with special ultimate moves that can be activated upon killing enough enemy units, which fills up your groove bar. This game is about war, but it's also about grooving, which allows you to do things like kill your units, resurrect the dead, sprout vines, and more depending on your commander and faction. The basic goal of the game is rather simple. In most scenarios, including the campaign and classic multiplayer matches, you must protect your commander and home base while destroying your components at the same time. If your home base is destroyed or if your commander falls in battle, you lose. You can create and hire units for your army by buying them from barracks that are spread across the map. In order to fund your army, you must capture cities, which provide gold each turn in the form of peasant taxation. There are many units to hire in Wargroove. They include foot soldiers, war dogs, siege weaponry, mounted knights, archers, flying units, anti-air wizards, incredibly powerful titans, and a whole lot more. Each unit has their own cost, strength, and weakness, and they also have their own situational bonuses in the form of critical strikes. Combat is fully turn-based with optional animations, and is quite fun and addicting. Battles are highly tactical, requiring you to use terrain, weather, and unit compositions to your advantage if you want to win. With that out of the way, let's move on to the analysis. Despite being a virtual clone of Advance Wars, this isn't a bad thing at all. Wargroove improves upon the game greatly by adding new win conditions, playable commanders, and more unit variety. Management of your armies and individual units is easy and intuitive, and the user interface works well, even on the PC version. The graphics are retro-inspired and feature aesthetic pixel art, in a similar vein to Starbound or Stardew Valley. If you opt to enable the animations, they are pretty great as well, although they slow down battles considerably. All units and commanders have unique combat animations. Did I mention that there is a dog as a playable character? In terms of actual gameplay, the single-player campaign is quite difficult. On default, you should expect to lose more than you might think, with the AI almost always having an advantage in terms of army strength, composition, and economy at the start of battle. This challenge is honestly refreshing, and is in many ways a throwback to a time when games required patience and reflection. It's especially difficult to get a perfect score, known as S-rank in game, as they require you to win battles in as few turns as possible, with as few casualties as possible. If you're like me and have blatant disregard for your soldier's life, and opt for the meat grinder style of gameplay, forget about ever seeing a perfect grade. When the motherland calls, it's all about quantity over quality, and rank C's get degrees anyways, tovarish. Regarding criticism, the single-player campaign is a bit uninspired. Without spoiling more than the intro scene, you start the game with your father being killed and your kingdom under siege by dark forces. The plot is basic fare, and you've probably seen and heard it all before, a lot like the movie options aboard a Ryanair flight. I'm only about 7 hours into the campaign, so I'm not sure if the plot picks up or becomes more engaging. That being said, the characters, especially the dog, are interesting, but there isn't much in the character development department. But let's be honest, you don't play Wargroove for the story, you play it for the gameplay, and in that regard, it's a complete success. The game is fun, and I'd rather be playing it now than writing the script at 4 o'clock in the morning. Overall, Wargroove smells great and tastes of nostalgia. It scratches an itch that I'd nearly forgotten about over 18 years ago when Advance Wars first released and I was introduced to the strategy game genre. I'm amazed by all the customizable features of the game, and I look forward to all the scenarios, maps, and mods that are bound to appear in the Steam Workshop. If you want to pick up the game, it will be available on Steam as soon as this video goes live on YouTube. Chucklefish did a great job in their first foray to turn-based strategy, and if you want to see more of this game in future videos, let me know in the comment box below. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. This video is supported by viewers like you, and I'd like to give a special thanks to the patrons who support and continue to support the channel. I would additionally like to thank the community for supporting my channel throughout the demonetization fiasco last month. With the help of Reddit, my subscribers, and you awesome people, YouTube was able to restore my channel and we are back in the saddle again. I plan to finish my Patreon poll videos, hopefully next week, and I apologize for the delay as I have a bit of a backlog. If you enjoyed Wargroove, let me know, and I'll see you next time later this week.